ZNS Network. ZNS Network. Bahamas.
The views expressed on this show, interview, or program are not necessarily the views expressed by the ZNS Radio Network and, by extension, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. What's the secret of change? We don't fight the old. Instead, we focus on building the new. Welcome to the Table of Change. Come on in and have a seat at our table.
It's another Tuesday night. The date is January 21st, 2025. We are at the table of change. At this table, Tamara, you get served and you can eat. So guess what? Sometimes someone serves me and I serve them, but there's lots to learn at this table. Bahamas, let's do it. This is our show. Did I say that? Bahamas Table of Change is our show. Let's come on tonight. Family Islands, Nasuvians, let's change the table tonight.
You know, here at Table of Change, we always try and bring issues to the table. And sometimes those issues could be customer service or being in service in our homes, being service in our community. But the way how communication impacts service. And we just want to, tonight we just want to start off by talking about, if you have any customer service issues that you want to call in. And if you want to call in and share those issues with us. And also, we're not going to talk about it and just discuss it. We want to try and find a solution and maybe give that organization an idea of how this could have been prevented, how it could have been improved, how the body language, how the verbiage that was used could have been corrected and the situation be handled differently. So tonight at Table of Change, and those of you listening for the first time and our listeners, we thank you. But of course, we want you to call in. And you know those numbers. Get ready. Get your pen, get your paper, get your phone. Let's write it down. Those numbers are 325-5403 through 5. I'll say it again, 325-5403 through 5. Or we have toll free. Toll free, it's 300-8255. Thank you to those listening in on 1540, 104.5 FM, 810 AM, every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Table of Change. This is the table that you bring the situation to, and we try and solve it. But Jackie, I had a doozy this weekend, Jackie. Had a doozy this weekend.
Oh my, Tamara. Do you want to share? Well, before you share that, at the table tomorrow, I think you need to be transparent and what's happening. And tonight, I think our listening audience, they know that normally we would have a guest. Mm-hmm. And tonight, we don't have the guest tonight. Not that we didn't make arrangements. We did everything we had to do. But something happened. We didn't get a response from our guest tonight. And it's things like that, it's not good. But I'm sure, because sometimes what you're thinking is not what it is. And I'm thinking after the show, or maybe tomorrow, something must have happened that he or she would be able to explain why you didn't let us know that you were not going to make it. So let's just hope for that.
We have to believe that, because knowing that the show is live, the show is live, you hardly have any time now to turn around and get another guest. And, given the opportunities and reaching out to that person and still not getting a response, it's really disappointing. Mm-hmm. And especially knowing that you're coming to a show like Table of Change that deals with customer service and service, I just pray for the best.
So that's something that that selling service, we really want that to change. So if you're doing that to people, try not to do it, or just make sure at the back end there's a great reason that we're going to say, what we understand.
Jackie, 2025 January has started off in terms of I'm losing my hope, Jackie. I thought we were making a change. I thought we may be making a difference, but customer service, I don't see it as improving. Let me give you an example.
Okay.
Was at the airport, not in the Bahamas. I'm going to say that, not in the Bahamas. I was at the airport in New York. And keeping in mind that, New Yorkers has a different accent from us. And, maybe use a different verbiage from us. I was standing, I got to let you visualize it, you know? I'm standing at the ticket counter and the agent is looking at the computer. So I didn't walk directly up to the desk. I stepped away, so I'm like about 4 steps away from her, waiting for the customer service person to call me, to call me forward and tell me I can come. Mm-hmm. So I stood there, and honestly, I could have counted to maybe 30. And then finally, the young lady looks up and said, "You coming forward?"
Wait a minute.
Now, like I said, it is New York. There's a different accent. Mm-hmm. So I thought, maybe I interpreted it wrong. Mm-hmm. But Jackie, you cannot misinterpret body language. The body language told me that's what was said, and that's the way I took it. Are you going to come forward? With the head rolling, with the staunch sound, and I'm like, that's how we are now? That's how we treat people?
Did you speak to it, or let's hear the rest of the story?
Jackie, sometimes, you want... I know we say we have to deal with the situation, right? Mm-hmm. But sometimes I always try and be that person to take a step back and really try and figure out, maybe there's a part I played in the service. Maybe, I got rude service right before then. I was at a deli, and I was waiting for a sandwich, and the young man at the deli, he spoke, a little aggressive, and the service was really bad. I was waiting for this deli sandwich for almost 45 minutes, and I was a little bit out of sorts from that. So I stood back to say, maybe I did something with the counter person, and not just jump to the conclusion that this person is just outright ridiculously rude. Mm-hmm. But at the end of it, that's what it was, Jackie. They were outright ridiculously rude. So that was how I brought in January. Then I had an experience this weekend in my own Bahama land.
Oh, my, bringing it close to home.
Yeah, I'm going to take a deep breath, folks. I'm going to take a deep breath. What they say, let me count to 10, because I want to say the story exactly how it went, and I don't want to embellish it. So I'm going to count. You guys help me count. All right. So this is what happened. I went to a bakery. I put an order in with the bakery on Thursday. The young lady that was behind the register took the order from me. Okay. At the time, she wasn't rude, but she wasn't friendly, she wasn't polite, and she wasn't smiling. But that's okay. She just did what she was there to do, take my order. That was fine. Barely got a thank you. She told me to come back on Saturday at 11 to pick up the order. Now, and I know better than that, Jackie. I'm not going to go at 11. If you tell me 11, I know better than that. I wasn't going until 12 anyway. Okay.
In the Bahamas, that's what we do.
Okay, so now I get to the business at 12 o'clock, and I'm standing in front of the register, and I said to her, I'm here to pick up the cupcakes that should have been ready for 11. She said to me, "They call you?" So, the tune, I still was like, some people, that's the way you speak, that's the way you are. Okay, maybe it's me, and I'm rushing because I was hosting a party, and so I was like, I said, so I said it the way she said it to me. They called me. I said, it was they, and why would they be calling me? I don't even think you got my number. So then she said, they supposed to call you because we didn't know the color of the cupcakes.
Oh, my gosh, Tamara.
So I'm thinking back, Jackie, because you remember now, it's hot. This Saturday, 12 o'clock, I'm in a rush trying to get back to my function and now picking up these cupcakes. So I'm thinking to myself, no one asked me what color the cupcakes are supposed to be. And shouldn't you have asked me what the color of the cupcake should be? So because an error was made, this error wasn't just made by me. You played a part in this error being made, and therefore your tone needs to be a little bit nicer, and your pitch need to come down at least 4 notches, because I'm not the total idiot in this situation. You played a part in this too. You have to ask me what color the cupcakes need to be. That's your job. That's your part of it. So she continued. So she said, so I said, I'm confused. Do you need me to give you a color? So she said, yes, because they could need to spray it. I'm not a baker, guys. I can cook. So when she said spray it, I'm like, spray the cupcake? How do you... This whole concept of spraying it. I'm like, what is this, a car? What are we spraying? Is this going to be something edible? What is she talking about? We're going to spray the cupcakes, right? So she said, we're going to need to spray it. So I said, okay, this whole conversation leading to where? Is it leading to you telling me that these cupcakes are not ready? And if that is where it's leading, when are the cupcakes going to be ready? No, I didn't say that. I'm going to do it now. Then the worst of the worst happened. She rolled her eyes and she sucked her teeth and she looked at me. She didn't even have the decency of doing it and putting her head down. She did it to me and stood there and met me eye to eye. But, you know, we always talk about that body language being verbal and, you know, that non-verbal. So not only was she verbally rude to me, her body language was rude to me. And keep in mind, this place is only big enough to hold 15 people in it. But you know, at the time, we hold in 25. So everyone could hear all the abuse that I'm being subjected to.
No way.
But, Jackie, I still hold on to humanity sometimes. I still hold on to hope and said to myself, you know what? I've been up from 6:30 in the morning cooking for this party. I may be a little tired and stressed out. Maybe I did something. Maybe I said something. Maybe my body language may have been hurry or some way that offended her. So I sat there and I took it in for a minute. And she said to me, I'm going to check on it now.
No way.
So when she went to check on the cupcakes, a customer was walking out the door. So what I did was I held the door for the customer that was standing right next to me to hear this whole interaction. And when we went outside the door, I said, ma'am, I want you to be honest with me right now because I'm about to cut a movie inside here today. I said, but I want you to be honest with me because I'm a little hectic. I'm a little hot. I said, girl, you know, this is a stage where you get a little hot now. So I want to make sure that... I said, ma'am, did I say something rude to that young lady? She said, no, she was stinking rude. And I was surprised that you didn't call her out on it. So I said, thank you. That's what I needed to hear. At the time, Jackie, I know you would say to me, what did I do to take it on? But, Jackie, do I take it on in this space with 20 people standing in there with this young lady? Do I take it on right then and there? What do you suggest that I should have done?
Okay, for me... And after we finish talking about this, we're going to try to do a demo of the way it could have gone and make it so much better. For me, I would have politely asked for a supervisor, just right then. I would have asked for a supervisor.
I find that the supervisor will be much better.
Yeah, but I was going to go through the process. I probably would have said to her, okay, let's start this over again. You're being rude to me, and I really don't know why. How did you put in the order? Did you do it by phone, or did you?
I went in and I put the order with the same young lady.
Same young lady? So they did not take a phone number from you?
No, I am confident of that.
And so, Tamara, can you call the name of the place?
I won't, because it's a popular role place. I won't. And because I frequent there often, I know, Jackie, we talk about it all the time, calling the name. Sometimes I try and give people an opportunity to do better.
Okay, well, will you tell me the name after the show?
Yes, I will.
And would you give me the phone number after the show?
I can do that.
Because, Tamara, this is something that I think can turn around, because the young lady needs help. The business, the bakery that you went to, they probably don't know, but their business need help. The lady is going to destroy their business. So my thing is, I get the phone number, I speak with the manager. Now, I want to share what happened. So you're going to have to back me. Because we have to speak with them about it. We have to let them know, and we would sit and find out to see if this is going to make a complete circle, or this is going to be someplace where Tamara is not going to shop again.
Jackie, in talking this story, because you know I was alarmed, and you know I was hot. I was hot as a six. And talking this story with other people, they were like, no, Tamara, you don't go there for service. You go there for the cake. You go there for the cake. You go there for the bread. Oh, you was expecting service. That's why you so disappointed. So obviously they're known to be stinking rude. You remember your grandma used to say that, stinking rude? They must be known to be stinking rude. Because I've heard that from a few people that, no, that's how they always are in there. And there's no organization. So it's like, Jackie, the first thing that frustrates you is you walk in the door and there is no clear. Stand on this line if you're here to pick up cakes. Stand here if you want to if you want to just pick up rolls or bread or danishes. And stand here if you're paying the cashier. It's like no order. And you know what was so disappointing? The customers was creating the order. As the people come in the door, the customers had to now turn around and say, you here to pick up a cake, hey. Come stand, you got to stand over there, baby. Oh, you stand behind me. I waiting to order bread, too. There's no order. It's chaos. And I'm thinking to myself, why do we, you know what it starts from, Jackie? We never have enough parking in front of these businesses. Then you get in the door, you never have enough space for the business. Forget COVID. We're not supposed to have as much people in one small area like that because of COVID. But it's like, come on now. There's no organization. So everything is like hectic, like a bustle, like a begging. And then now, when I get to the register, I hear that.
Okay, so we're saying all of this. And so are you telling me no one is going to know the name of this company? They don't even know the area. So, who are we talking to?
Who are we talking to?
Yeah. I mean, like, how is it going to make it? How? Well, let's do this. Let's just do a demo of how that could have happened, which would have been better.
Okay.
So you be yourself, and I'll be the lady.
Okay. So I'll be. Hi, I'm here to pick up cupcakes.
When did you order the cupcake?
I ordered them on Thursday.
On Thursday. Now, we had someone who ordered cupcakes this morning, and unfortunately, I have a little bit of bad news. I told someone to come 11 o'clock. Were you that person that I told to come 11?
If that's for Tamara Smith, yes.
Oh, Tamara Smith, yes, that's the name. But Miss Smith, unfortunately, I did not take the phone number from you, and it's totally my fault. I did not take, because I took that order and I did not take your phone number. And that was why I could not call you so that I would be able to, we didn't want to just put any color of icing on the cake. And I'm so sorry, but if you can, just tell me the color that you want on the cake. Do you have any problems just waiting another, say, 15 minutes maybe? Would that be okay?
I fully agree. Jackie. That's all I needed.
And Tamara, I was going to give you at least 5 cakes on the house that I was going to pay for as an employee.
Yeah.
It's so easy.
But you have to take responsibility. You know, I started off by telling you she was the one I put the order in with. So she is the one that didn't get the number to contact me. She is the one that didn't get the color of what is needed for the cupcake. So take on the responsibility. When you are the face of the company, even if she didn't take the order herself, you still got to take that on. And just like you said, I picture it, I envision it, just being simple in terms, this is what I wanted her to say to me. We got distracted because we have some people via Zoom, and via Zoom they're saying, I was taking my money back. She would have ate those herself. But come on, guys, I had to have the cupcakes to take it back to the party. I leave the party, and the party that I was hosting, the party I was doing all the work for to get the cupcakes. And let's be real now. Jackie, I know you as always say, you can't be victimized for telling the truth. But Jackie, I don't row with people when food is involved because I want my cupcakes and I want my cupcakes in a good manner. I don't want them to do nothing bad to my cupcakes.
Tamara,
and give it to me.
I have someone who just WhatsApped me, and they're saying the name of the place they think it is. Can I at least do that? Can I say what somebody else is saying they think? Or is that wrong for the show as well?
We're not going to say that, but the place that you know that it is, they have some of the best bread, and they have the biggest cupcakes with the nice icing that the little children like, and they have parking deficiencies. You know exactly where the place is, but we are not going to do that. But for that person that called and guessed it and typed it in, yeah, you're right. That's exactly where it is.
But you know what? I know the owners of that place. Mm-hmm. So it makes it even easier. So I will definitely call that place and let them know. From what I know about them, they do not tolerate that sort of service. Tamara.
We want to get some more comments.
The second person.
No, okay. You guys are typing. You're guessing the names right? So please, if you're guessing the name right, I know you have an example of something with service in there. So if you are guessing that name right, you're going to call 325-5403 through 5 or toll free 300-8255. We are going to take a break here at Table of Change, and we're talking about customer service, and we're talking about a particular bakery that I had an experience with. And if you have any idea and experience of where that bakery is or a story to share with us, after this break, I want you to get comfortable and call and let us know to make sure it's not an isolated incident, because that's my problem. Sometimes I feel like it may be isolated and I don't want to be unfair to the business. So give us a call right after the break. Table of Change.
And you will get a prize.
RBC is a bit for all of you. Life is full of twists, turns, and defining moments that create your own unique story. However your story unfolds, we're here to help guide you through it. From every big decision to every new adventure, RBC is a bit for all of you. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean/all of you.
In an effort to support and promote a safer Bahamas, ZNS Radio has removed all music promoting violence from its music rotation. Listen and let us know if you hear any music that does not meet our standards. The National Voice remains committed to assisting to reduce crime in the Bahamas.
Quality in a service is not what you put into it. It is what customers get out of it. And Table of Change gives us customer service at its finest. Tune in to Tamara Fox-Smith and Jacqueline Fernando-Moxie for Table of Change. Table of Change, every Tuesday at 8 p.m. right here on the National Voice of the Bahamas.
Table of Change is here. Table of Change.
With myself, Tamara Fox-Smith, and Jacqueline Fernando-Moxie, we're going to bring the issue to the table.
Minimize the cost of your ads and maximize your advertising impact. From January 1st to April 30th, only you can double or triple your ZNS ad experience. Get a ZNS multimedia package that includes radio, television, and TV community page ads starting at just $3.99 per month. That's right, $399 per month. Book your package now. Call your ZNS account executive or the ZNS sales office at telephone numbers 502-3800. That's 502-3800 today. And double or triple your advertising experience.
Quality in a service is not what you put into it. It is what customers get out of it. And Table of Change gives us customer service at its finest. Tune in to Tamara Fox-Smith and Jacqueline Fernando-Moxie for Table of Change. Table of Change, every Tuesday at 8 p.m. right here on the National Voice of the Bahamas.
Table of Change is here. Table of Change.
With myself, Tamara Fox-Smith, and Jacqueline Fernando-Moxie, we're going to bring the issue to the table.
The views expressed on this show, interview, or program are not necessarily the views expressed by the ZNS Radio Network and, by extension, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Welcome back to Table of Change. You have yours truly, Jacqueline Fernando-Moxie.
Tamara Fox-Smith.
And remember, the phone numbers are 325-5403, 5404 or 5405. Toll free, Family Alice. You know, you got my heart all the time. 300-8255. If you're listening on radio, 104.5 FM, 1540 AM, and the light, 810.
You know, we just got to recap a little bit. If you're just listening, tuning in late, if you're late coming to the meeting tonight, we're talking about service that I experienced at a bakery. It was just verbally rude, rolling the eyes, the body language, and the service in itself. But with that, we've had so much people that are calling us via the phone lines and via Zoom. And one person that called in, please come on. We're ready for you, Royanne.
Hi, good night.
Good night.
I am a customer service oriented person. And if I go to any establishment, especially ordering food with that kind of service, I would have not taken those cupcakes. I would have asked to see the manager and explain to him or her what happened, and I would have requested a full refund.
But Royanne, I was going to the party. I was going to the party, Royanne. I was picking up the party was actually going on, and I was picking up the cupcakes for the party. So, like, my back was against the wall.
Charles, Super Value, Swiss Bakery, somebody would have find me cupcakes, but sure not 3S Bakery.
Woo! Now, allegedly, Royanne, I don't want you have to go to jail all by yourself. Table of Change ain't going to jail with you. We did not say that.
My darling, for what you described, the tiny parking lot, entering the door, you don't know whether you're standing left, right, or center. And yes, the customers do direct you on which area to stand. And the cashier does look like she has a bad attitude. But of course, she never displayed that with me.
I got the eye. I got the words. I got the cut eye. I've never experienced anything like that in my life.
Wow.
Jesus. So she took you for?
Miss Royanne, what we will do after the show tonight, we will get in. You can leave your phone number so that we can call you and we'll let you know if you are the winner of the prize tonight.
Oh, wonderful.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for calling. We have Mr. Ferguson.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
What a wonderful evening to you all both. I presume I would say the one of those businesses out there.
You're saying that you know the business that we're speaking of?
I'm saying that it's one of those businesses out there.
It is. One of those businesses. Have you
That's
experienced
not the
it?
answer? That's not the answer you're looking for?
No, we wanted to. You have to say the name.
I like that laugh. That laugh says a lot. That laugh says a lot. But have you experienced anything like that with that particular business that you think it may be? Is that what prompted you to call in tonight?
Well, I went through such situation as such, but I just told them about themselves, or I would go to the police if they want to be really dirty, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I had done.
Wow.
So, Mr. Ferguson, you're saying that I should have right then and there get the manager involved.
Well, I think it was appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I agree
I think
with
so
you.
too.
I agree with you. Now, we do have another call. Anything else you want to share with us, Mr. Ferguson?
I want to say this is a beautiful program you have on, or you started with that.
Oh,
thank you
so much. It's a pleasure talking to you, and you enjoy the rest of your night and your listening.
Thank you. I'm so Christ of it.
Okay.
I would.
Bye.
DeAndre?
Good night.
Night.
So I was calling because Miss Moxie said something last week about basically mentioning people for the good and for the bad. Because if you mention them for the good, everything is happy, everything's great. But when you mention them for the bad, how Miss Moxie was talking about it last week, is to shed light on it. Because if you don't shed light on it, then no improvement would happen. So that's what I think she's trying to get at now. And I think it makes sense, but it might not be as easy as that to go about doing, basically.
DeAndre, okay, as a manager, I was always taught to praise in public and chastise in private. And I think that's the reason why sometimes me and Moxie disagree in terms of people do not like to be humiliated. And even though they are dead wrong, if you chastise them in public, they're going to feel humiliated, and then they're going to have their defenses up, and you're not going to be able to accomplish anything. So that's why sometimes I get a little nervous in terms of calling out an organization's name.
And I understand, Tamara, in some cases, but like I say, with Table of Change, what I would like to happen is that, but once we connect with the different companies and we speak with them and they are aware that we are not here to damage your business. We want to be able to, I just think it's so biased to just say all the good things. We know everything is not good. And so if we can share some of the bad things that happen at your business place, it actually give you the heads up that you need to do some work with a particular person. Doesn't mean, we're not saying to cause them to lose their job. We're just saying speak with them. Let them know what they're doing wrong. Work with them. Try to train them so that they can do better.
Okay.
I think it would help.
I agree with you. But now, you know there's a word that's wusser, right? It could get wusser. Sometimes things could get wusser, right? I got to tell you scenario number 2 of what happened this weekend. So what happened was, you remember, guys, I'm preparing for the party, so I'm dealing with different businesses. Okay. I had to go to one particular business, and I like this business. Let me just start off by saying I like this business. I've gotten my tarts and bread and potato bread from them before, and I love the quality of what I get. But we had a little foobar that I'm not sure how to deal with. Let me just tell you my experience. I get to the window, and it's on the side of somebody's house. It's in a business. It's out of somebody's house, but they've been professional in the past. I get to the window, and I'm putting in my order. The gentleman says to me, I can't take the order. I can't take the order. I need to call my wife. You need to talk to my wife. Excuse me? Okay. All right. So he puts his wife on the phone. Fortunately, she came on very professional, and she took the order. She assured me it's going to be ready. She gave me the price, which is a really good and fair price of $130. Okay. She gets off the phone, and now he starts screaming for this young lady to come from the back. So the young lady comes from the back now, upset because she was doing something else, and she's not prepared now to take this order from me. Because all it is now is, I guess they were going to write me up a receipt. I had to say it 4 times. I felt like Sesame Street when you say a container of milk and a stick of butter, a container of milk and a stick of butter. You remember that in Sesame Street? This is how many times I kept saying, I want potato bread, coconut tart, pineapple tart, Johnny cake. I said this like 4 different times, and then she said, oh, the pen isn't working. I can't get it to write down. The paper's too small. Finally, I went to my car. I got a pen. I gave her a pen. I was like, do you need me to write it down? She said, no. Jackie, what do you think she gave me my receipt on? What do you think my receipt was? Yes, I'm saying that this is not a business that you drive up to, but this is a place that's been working out of their home now for the past 20-something years that I've been going through.
Okay.
What you think she gave me to write my $130? Remember, I given her $130, and she's writing down my order that I need to pick up for Friday night. What you think she gave me the receipt on?
A napkin.
That might have been better. Guess what she gave it to me on? You know the ticket that when you go to the carnival, and it's have the 8 numbers on it? So picture now, you know what Matt, come on, someone help me. Do you know the little ticket? The little ticket only as big as your nail, and then you tear the ticket off because you just need 2 tickets to go on the carnival ride, right? She wrote it on the back of one of these tickets. So picture now, she got to squeeze, you got to squeeze in coconut tart, pineapple tart, Johnny cake, potato bread. Now, I ain't tell you how these things spell too. That's a whole different story. But anyway, and then she could put paid $130. So I'm looking at this ticket. How is this ticket going to stand up in a court of law? Because first of all, it don't have the name of the business. It don't have the telephone number in case I need to contact them. It's not clearly written out what my order is. It doesn't even have, what time I'm picking up my order. And I really want to address it, but I don't know sometimes if people have the capacity to understand.
But the way you said it in the beginning, Tamara, I right away picked up that, okay, there's some challenges with the person that approached you first. Now, so I felt like, okay, he's probably, not on par to do it, not the person to do it. Something was going on there. But then you said the wife came and she was nice.
Yes, very professional.
And then the other lady came, and so when you said that she said the pen ain't writing, right then I picked up, okay, it's because she have challenges of spelling or writing. I picked up on that. So for me, I would have probably said to them, can you call your wife? Or I probably would have said, do you have a piece of paper? And I probably would have written it on the paper because I sensed there was some challenges there.
I did. Now, I didn't add that. I went to my car. When I said I went to my car to get the pen, I got the pen and I started writing it up to say, so I could stop repeating it, so at least she could have the order there.
Yeah.
But I think the most alarming part is, why is that a receipt? And I'm telling you, they've been doing this business for 20 years. Yeah. Why are you writing on, what is this ticket? Why don't you have a piece of paper? Why don't you have if it's not the professional receipt book, you remember you could buy the book, Jackie, with the lines on it, and then you write the name of the business and the telephone number. Imagine my surprise of getting this carnival ticket, and you're comfortable with this, and I'm comfortable with this for my $130.
Right, but my advice in that is that the lady, the professional lady, the wife who came out, she should never make that mistake again. If you're trying to train them, or you really should not let them do that by themselves. And as soon as they can stay there just to greet the customer, but I think that's her job to come and do that. Those people, the other 2 persons, they're not equipped to do that. So she should have not left them there. I mean, this is not even a place where you're just paying $1 for a cake, a slice of cake. This is $130.
Yes.
So she has to not make that mistake again.
But that's the problem in terms of customer service. We do not vent people. And even though I say to you that's a little, little mom, it's a little business on the side of a house, the point is that's a business. And like you're saying to me, that's bringing in money. So you have to now have a sensible person in place to be able to take the order from me. And you have to, and I'm talking, this business has been going on for almost 20 years now. I'm like, what is going on?
But Smitty, you have to speak with this person. I would have waited around and I would have called the lady. I would have had a conversation with her.
But see, you would say have the conversation before I get my stuff or after. Because I don't want to have the conversation before I get my stuff, Jackie. I don't trust human beings on that level before I get my stuff.
Yeah, but you know what? Conversations, for me, if I bump into a situation, I don't know, somehow the way I speak to them, it comes out really nice. And by the time as I leave, they really understand. They actually thank me. I mean, I went to, there's a place where they sell trophies and things like that. And I went there to do business, to buy stuff. And as I was sitting in the car, I saw where 2 persons came out and they hit their foot. Like outside, there was something on the ground, and they hit their feet there and almost tripped over. And so I went in the store, and I found out who was the owner, because I figured this is something that the owner have to know. And I asked for her, and I spoke with her. I said, I don't know. I was in the car just sitting down, and I saw two persons came out, and they almost tripped over. And she said, you know, you're not the first person who said that to me. And she said, I thank you for saying it. And she said, I am going to do something with that. Tamara, when I went there to pick up what I ordered, Tamara, she did, and she took me and she showed me that they fixed it. So, you know, I think probably just work on the skill of saying what went wrong, but saying it in a way where you want to help.
I'm with you in terms of saying it. But come on, you guys, help me out. Listening audience now, when I'm talking about food and food I have to pick up, I ain't that brave. I ain't got that much faith in humanity that I'm going to trust the fact that if I say this, that my order's not going to be messed up. So all you guys out there listening to Table of Change, I need you to call 325-5403 through 5 or 300-8255. Give me your ideas in terms of how do we handle customer service issues involving food? Because remember now, I still got to eat this food. And yes, I agree, Jackie, we got to confront it, but it's a little tricky. Come on, guys, help me out. Help me explain to Jackie my side of the story and this side of the coin of how I feel. So we're going to take a break here on Table of Change. You're going to think about it. You're going to call 325-5403 through 5, 300-8255. We're going to talk about customer service issues that's involving food.
Minimize the cost of your ads and maximize your advertising impact. From January 1st to April 30th, only you can double or triple your ZNS ad experience. Get a ZNS multimedia package that includes radio, television, and TV community page ads starting at just $3.99 per month. That's right, $399 per month. Book your package now. Call your ZNS account executive or the ZNS sales office at telephone numbers 502-3800. That's 502-3800 today. And double or triple your advertising experience.
Quality in a service is not what you put into it. It is what customers get out of it. And Table of Change gives us customer service at its finest. Tune in to Tamara Fox-Smith and Jacqueline Fernando-Moxie for Table of Change. Table of Change, every Tuesday at 8 p.m. right here on the national voice of the Bahamas.
Table of Change is here. Table of Change.
With myself, Tamara Fox-Smith, and Jacqueline Fernando-Moxie, we're going to bring the issue to the table.
Minimize the cost of your ads and maximize your advertising impact. From January 1st to April 30th, only you can double or triple your ZNS ad experience. Get a ZNS multimedia package that includes radio, television, and TV community page ads starting at just $3.99 per month. That's right, $399 per month. Book your package now. Call your ZNS account executive or the ZNS sales office at telephone numbers 502-3800. That's 502-3800 today. And double or triple your advertising experience.
Quality in a service is not what you put into it. It is what customers get out of it. And Table of Change gives us customer service at its finest. Tune in to Tamara Fox-Smith and Jacqueline Fernando-Moxie for Table of Change. Table of Change, every Tuesday at 8 p.m. right here on the national voice of the Bahamas.
Table of Change is here. Table of Change.
With myself, Tamara Fox-Smith, and Jacqueline Fernando-Moxie, we're going to bring the issue to the table.
The views expressed on this show, interview, or program are not necessarily the views expressed by the ZNS Radio Network and, by extension, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
We are back, Table of Change. We are back. It is so nice that you're calling in, you're sending messages. This caller, they sent a message and they said, I'm with you. Everyone is not a professional in understanding. Some people are very petty. Yes, petty, that's what they are. I'm going to start something that someone told me, and I'm hoping that she chimes in with me to probably take it a little deeper. She was sharing with me, she had someone come to her house to do a service. And she said she was not in a very good mood. Well, before I continue the story, we have someone on Zoom. Are you there?
Hello? Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, before I start that story, I hope I won't be long, but I wanted to chime in on what Tamara left off by saying. She used a word, and I was thinking about your thoughts, Jackie, and her thoughts, and trying to marry both. In reference to bad customer service and how you deal with it. And I said to myself, this is a tricky one. Customer service or calling out bad customer service can be very, very tricky. It can change, it could affect the outcome significantly of how you deal with it.
Right.
And so what I decided to do on the break, as Tamara said, was just think about it. And then I started jotting down some stuff of the pros and the cons with this thing, of how to call out customer service or bad customer service. And there are some pros and there are some cons. And I think both of you guys were saying some of them maybe. And coming from different angles.
Right.
And so for me, the some pros I wrote down was, okay, some pros is bringing, accountability and improvement of the organization, bringing attention to a poor service can push the organization to address some, systemic problems they may be having and provide additional training for staff. So it could highlight accountability and for them to improve on their service, because it's sometimes these services not just a one-off. They're kind of in depth.
Right.
And then my second pro was bringing consumer awareness, sharing some, sometimes when you share your experience of how to deal with sharing your experience of how you deal with with customer service, it can sometimes deter them from dealing with a problem they have in the business.
Right.
And then the third one, and I was quickly trying to so please forgive me if I'm stumbling. It can prompt resolution.
Yes.
When you're publicly highlighting an issue.
Yes.
It oftentimes trigger a faster response to some companies, because some companies want to protect their image and their reputation. So sometimes when you publicly highlight something, it kind of triggers a faster response. And that, depending on the way you approach it as well, is very much, depending on that. Because sometimes, obviously, if you come with a fussy, cussy kind of mouth, that might be a different trigger. But in this instance, I'm talking about how you approach it in a more professional, humble, and direct, but you getting it out, and it may trigger a different response. And what else I wrote down here? And then some cons. The cons with calling out bad customer service. You might. The first one I said, okay, you might have legal issues, at least it's legal risk, because sometimes, it could be like defamation of character or something defamatory, and the organization could take legal action against you if the statement is not is saying false or whatnot. So you want to be careful with that. Then sometimes it could be a potential backlash. The organization or may respond defensively, turning the situation into a public dispute. So it depends. So I just want to share some of those things. So it's a pro and con to handling or calling out customer service publicly. So you just have to think of it, but it all goes back to the how.
Yeah, and you're right with that, because when I say publicly, like I try to explain how Table of Change would like to do it, we would like to partner with the businesses to let them know, what we are trying to achieve. Because in everything, if you don't speak to it, there's not going to be a change, and so it happens with service, with your children. You have to speak to it. So, Ms. Robinson, thank you very much for calling in. I see there's another caller on the line.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Happy holiday. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Same to you.
Yeah. With that type of service, you have to be very careful in dealing with food.
Mm.
You understand? Because I've had a conversation with another individual some time ago with that. Something similar like that happened. She was working in this place, and she said that customer was so rude. You know what she did? She intentionally spit in the food.
That's what I guess not with Jackie.
I mean, it's awful. It's nasty. Because who knows what sickness she can have in her body that she is transferring to this customer.
And Miss Johnson, they had to go to the back to get my cupcakes, right? It's not like the cupcake sitting in front of me. So after you done go to the back, I don't know what happens in the back. But Miss Johnson, what about this too? What if I get the manager involved, right? And what if the manager is not professional? And what if when I told the manager how the young lady treated me, he tells that young lady, get out of my business now, and fire her?
Oh, Lord. Then that's
the Bahamas is only 7 by 21, Jackie.
Yeah.
So now when I wearing my good clothes and I on my way to go to service, she could say, that's the woman that get me fired over cupcakes?
But Tamara, it's going to be the way you approach it. I just think the way, I don't know, for me, the way you approach it, it changes things, man.
I could be professional, but that don't mean the business is professional. That don't mean the manager is professional. Miss Johnson, help me.
Yeah. It's your upbringing, the way you've been taught.
Okay, but you know what?
Care for the business.
For me, that cake, I was going someplace else to get the cake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I you know what? The cupcakes were going to come from someplace else. Even if I had to go to Super Value and get the pound, it was just going to be something from someplace else. And then they would have gotten, it had to happen.
But probably you don't just want to say anything about it. Just, swallow it.
Miss Johnson, how are we ever going to get change if we don't say anything about it? Then I feel like this show, how? Tell me, help me.
What happened? Probably she was in a bad mood that morning. Okay? Just look at it like that. She could have been in a bad mood.
Miss Johnson, we had two people who someone called in and someone WhatsApped the name and they were right. So this seemed to be something that goes on a regular basis.
Okay, well, in that case, you go to the manager.
Okay.
But, Miss Johnson, Jackie is under the belief that I was going to go to somewhere else and I was going to get this better service. We find that there's a lot of businesses that I may not have. First of all, if I had tried to go somewhere else to get 3 dozen cupcakes on a Saturday, it wasn't going to happen. First of all, they could look at me and laugh in my face and say, what? On a Saturday? Today? For the day?
No, you couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it. Let's be real, right?
No, you couldn't have fun.
Yeah, and even trying to get a cake or something like that, the other business would look at me like I'm crazy and not even try and help me the way I need to be helped. The problem is overall, you're not getting service and the expectation of service. Like, even the customers in there were telling me, Miss Johnson, oh, you thought you come here for service, hey?
Well,
You come here for cupcakes.
That is sad because it seems as if Bahamians love bad service. That is really sad. So what are we doing now? Just accepting it?
People have to realize is that your service costs them to get their salary. If they don't know how to treat you and you don't go there, and a lot of other people don't go there, then the boss can't keep them because they ain't making no money.
Well, the good thing about it, Ms. Johnson, is if they're still the owners of that bakery, the husband went to school with me. And I am going tomorrow. I might even have his number on my phone. I am going to call him, and we're going to come back, and this is going to be a complete circle. We're going to come back with feedback, letting the Bahamas know how it went with this bakery. It almost came in my mouth just now. But they scare me so much. And this is going to be a full circle tomorrow, because there's no way you're going to tell me, Bahamas, we are now at the point where we're going to just take bad service and we're going to keep going back to this place, because it seems like a lot of people go there. It seems like they have a lot of business. It seems like they make a lot of money by giving bad service.
Ms. Johnson, let me tell you what could happen when she get there. When she talked to the owner could be able to tell exactly who the person named, because he know the bad service that she's been given. It's not going to be the first time that he's going to be fiberglassed when he hears the story of how rude she is. And that within itself diminishes the whole experience. He's going to be able to tell you the name of who it was and believe confidently that this has happened. He's not even going to be able to say, I don't believe that. No, she sucked her teeth. She rolled her eye. He could be able to tell you exactly who did it.
That's what I'm thinking. It must be some family member or even a child.
Well, like that, what you need to do is call a meeting and discuss service, attitude with all the staff. Tell them, now, listen here, we can either make this business or break it with your attitude. So we want today change this attitude as of today. I don't want to hear no more of this type of complaint. Tell them that.
Well, thank you so much, Ms. Johnson. I have something to say to Bahamas, because I feel like we need to call a meeting with the people of the Bahamas and find out what's going on. Why are we, it seems like we are so content with this bad service. How can we, come on now. It has to be something we can do about it, and we will do something about it. Like I said, there will be a report next week, Tuesday, about this bakery.
For a listening audience out there, you got homework. There's school now. I want you to really take note of service that you're experiencing. And I want you to take note of the service. And I hope some of it's going to be good. I don't want all of it to be bad. Let's really go with a positive frame of mind. Let's do our homework. Let's highlight the good service. Let's mention if we received bad service and what could be done differently to improve it. And also try to, call back in next week. Call the 325-5403. Let us know exactly what you're experiencing out there with customer service. Because I'm honestly, with the function, I had to deal with 5 different separate businesses, and I was disappointed by 3. Majorly disappointed. And it just left me feeling like, why do I always have to give up something? Why do I have to look past the service because I really want the cupcakes? Wow. Why can't I get the cupcakes and the service? Why can't I go to that mom and pop store and get a sensible receipt? But guess what? I can tell you, the food was good. The Johnny cake was good. The bread, the coconut tart, the potato bread, everything was good. So I know confidently it was going to be good. So I got to suck up the little ticket. I got to suck it up, Jackie, because I cannot get service and product.
You have 2 numbers to give me. The number for the little moms and pop store, because guess what? Next time you go there, they're going to have receipts. It's not hard. I would show them how to do it. They can do it. We have to make a difference. So I'll do the talking. You just keep bringing in the complaints, but just make sure there's some good ones involved.
We want to thank everyone for listening tonight. You have been an interactive audience, and we really appreciate the conversation. We love you here at Table of Change. We're going to be here next week, same time, 8 to 9 p.m.
We have 2 persons that gave the right answer, but unfortunately it's just 1 person called in. So that person, you're getting a big $10 from Table of Change. So you're the winner tonight, And so you can call 449-9106, and I would even bring it to you. You're the winner tonight. But you, along with me, along with Tamara, we have to go back to that store and make a difference. On Table of Change, I'm Jacqueline Fernanda Moxie.
Tamara Fox-Smith.
See you next week.
It's been a pleasure.
The views expressed on this show, interview, or program are not necessarily the views expressed by the ZNS Radio Network and by extension, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.